meet every fortnight on a Friday. We aim to have 3 breakout sessions as well. This is the first 10 minutes of the event. We open the doors at 12:25 so that you can get chatting with people whilst we welcome everybody in, and then we can have a proper good start at 12:35. And that's not an excuse to be late, by the way. 12:30 or 12:25 is great. So we aim to have 3 breakout sessions so you can get to know each other and talk to everybody in small groups. Everybody gets a chance to, at some point, pitch to the entire group. We don't do a 60 seconds round robin because it takes too long, but I do pick on 2 people semi-randomly, or I just choose 2 people that are interesting, or have got something coming up like an event or something they want to draw attention to. If that's you, let me know. And I'd love to get 2 of you to pitch to the group for 2 minutes at the end. We always aim to have a guest speaker. And that guest speaker always comes with something thought-provoking content for us as a business leader community. We are expert entrepreneurs. We have a very different set of needs, marketing needs, self-development needs than anybody else. So I always aim to try and get a speaker that's going to help us and aid us in our business and what we do. And we're also now launching our online community hub as well, which is accessible on the iPad, the phone, and the computer. At the moment, membership to that is free. So if you want more information about that, just ping me a message and I'll get you in that. We will be moving to this platform very, very soon. I'm just trying to work out the timing for it. But they have now got a go live function in here. So we can actually log in and run the event inside the platform rather than having to worry about Zoom links, which is going to be fantastic considering there's always a problem with somebody not having a Zoom link that works somewhere. It's going to bring it all together, but it is going to create another headache that everyone's got to have a login, and you might lose your login password, or it just might not work. So I've got to figure all this out before moving forward, which is all part of my MBA project. How wonderful. This makes life easier when you can do 2 things at once. So do try and make sure you come into the community, because that will help when we move over to that later on. For those of you who don't know, I am Naomi, and I am the founder of the Profile Company and the Expo Economy. The Profile Company specializes in writing LinkedIn profiles to position people as the go-to expert in their industry, so prospects come to them pre-sold and ready to buy. And also the Expo Economy, which evolved from the Profile Company, which is literally helping people build the foundations of their business so that prospects do come pre-sold and ready to buy, making sure all the right things are in place that they need. And that's obviously part of what we're doing today, is the community and being together. I'm the author of Grassroots to Green Shoots, What to Put on Your LinkedIn Profile, and the Expert Economy. And I also was part of the Rock Your Profile stand at LinkedIn's global conference twice back in the day. So I just had that on the slide. I don't know why I need to say that today, but I'm reading the slides. So there you go, piece of information about me. So the Expert Economy, what we are here for is really, like I said, having prospects come to us pre-sold and ready to buy, trusting us as their expert. Our goal is to have you billing 70% of your time, studying for 20% of your time, and 10% of your time managing all the pieces. Within that, you might ask, where is the sales and marketing? It's actually inside of the study time. We are experts at what we do. We are not influencers. We do not want to be Gary Vaynerchuk making lots and lots of content and putting ourselves out there massively, or using the F word a lot. We don't want to be doing that. We actually want to be working with clients, doing the work, the transformational work. We want to be bringing our expertise in, learning more, using it, seeing how it's evolving. And that's why I say 70% of the time billing. That's us working with the clients, doing the thing that we set out to do. Within that, obviously, we do need to do sales and marketing. But if I said to you, hey, here's 10 people, please go and speak to them about what you do and see if they can help, you can help them. You not only would love speaking to them and finding out what's going on in their world, but you'd also be learning more about your subject and how your topic is evolving in the marketplace today, and how those problems are actually showing up for people and what's going on for them. So that is you studying, that is you becoming an expert in your clients' problems and learning more. And then obviously you naturally are pulled towards blog posts, books, articles, all sorts of different things that you read. That again creates that inspiration that helps you to do better at your job. But both of these things are things that can easily boil over to you writing your own blog posts and writing your own content, which makes it feel like a really natural overflow of everything you're doing. And when we do that right, in the right way, that will lead us to having clients coming to us, seeing us as an expert, already sold on us being the person they want to work with, and establishing trust. So that's our goal, and our vision is to have experts contributing meaningfully in the world and getting paid for the value they create. And our mission is to develop experts into highly skilled entrepreneurs capable of transforming vision into action and making an impact in the world. Our values are be real, create space, and come in service. For you, what that means is, I get it. This is a really hard journey, and it's going to bring you to the very, very edge of yourself. If anybody wants to go through a personal development journey and really grow themselves quickly, they should really start a business as an expert. It's really hard when you go to a regular networking to say, hey, this is my business. Do you want to work with me? Oh, and by the way, I'm really struggling. You just don't. You put a mask on. If you go to your friends and family who are working, their usual response, because it makes them feel better, is to say, oh, I just think you should give it up and go get a job. This is all too difficult. Because that's their sense of security and what they know is safe. So it can be really hard. So here it's all about coming and being real, because I know that you can have a really good cry right now, in an hour's time deliver incredible work to your clients. So we're all in the same boat. We all get it. So we can all just be real about what's actually happening. And then with that, when we show that vulnerability, it's creating space for others to feel how they need to feel in that moment, and also giving ourselves the respect for us to feel how we need to feel. And then signposting. If you see something that you can offer somebody as a way of helping them move forward, we do that. We come in service, we help people out, and we move them forward. So that's who we aim to be. And obviously that's a we, because it's all on us to do that. And if you would like to, you can download a copy of my book, The Expert Entrepreneur, which is at that link on the website. You can also find it from the homepage on the website. So you don't need the last bit, you don't need to. You really need to update that, because it's theexperteconomy.com now. So .com, not .co.uk. And also you can buy the book physically in the shop as well. So we run 7-day challenges. The next one's coming up in May. We do a 9-week boot camp coming up in September, and ongoing all the time is the one-to-one coaching that I offer as well. If you haven't taken our scorecard already to see how much you've got sorted in your business already, then please do. Again, you can find that on the homepage of the website. It's a great little quiz there to show you how well you've got things sorted in your business, and if you're on track to having prospects coming to you pre-sold and ready to buy. Now it's time for the presentation with my good friend Elliot Kay, who has been a very good friend for a very long time actually, which is just wonderful. And we actually got to meet up last summer as well. I was nearby in his new town, and so I popped in, and it's a very nice place by the sea. So it's really great to be able to see each other face to face. And the cafe sells the most incredible chocolates. Elliot, you're just going to have to stop posting them out to people. I mean, they're just insanely good.
Sally will be very happy to hear that.
Yeah, and you weren't eating chocolate at the time, so you couldn't know how good they were.
I am now.
Have you had one?
I've had lots.
Yeah, they are insanely good. Okay, so if Elliot wants to tell you where he lives, he can tell you where the chocolate is. So on that note, I'm going to hand over to Elliot, who's going to be talking to us today about writing your signature talk, why it's important, why we need one as an expert. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, over to you, Elliot.
Great. Can I just share the screen, please?
You may.
So welcome everybody. Hello, lovely to see you. I think I've seen a couple of you and some of the other stuff I've done, but lots of fresh faces, and it's either way, it's lovely to see you, and I will get going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the bare bones of what it means and what is a signature talk, what does a signature look like, signature talk look like, why it's important. And then what you do, you'll have a little crack at a certain section of it, come back, we'll debrief that, and then we'll go from there, because that's what I would like to do by adding huge value and supporting you with this journey. So very quickly, I know I was in a room with a couple of people just now, but if I'd love if you could just, I know one of you has already started that, lives in my neighbouring county in Cornwall. I'm in Devon, but we know Devon is the California of the UK, you know, and we know Cornwall's kind of behind it, wanting to be just saying there, Mary. But I'd love to know where you're from, what you do very quickly in the chat box, if you just want to type it in, so I can then also relate to what I'm talking about to you. So a quick hello, and then I'll introduce myself formally and all that kind of stuff and all that jazz. So Yorkshire, yay, we're in Yorkshire, Tessa. Is it the cool part of Yorkshire or the not cool part of Yorkshire?
North Yorkshire, on the edge of the North Yorkshire moors.
Oh, very cool part, I see. Nottingham, productivity, ID productivity. Belgium, awesome. Leadership coach. Eat differently in Norfolk. Norfolk is cool. I love it. Now everyone's going to get really territorial. It is cool. Where I live is cool. It's cool. Ooh, fighting talk. Devon versus Cornwall. Is it the cream and the jam or the jam and the cream? Hey, Mary, we're going to find out maybe by the end of today who's got that part right. You see, fighting talk. I love it. Good. Let's keep them coming. Really interesting industries. We've got Jenny, West Midlands. Fabulous. I'm going to be in Leicester if you're anywhere nearby next Thursday at it was going to be the Power Stadium. It's the rugby one down the road doing the Midlands Leicester Business Show. So I'll be there if you're about. All right, Robert. Museum. Oh, fabulous. Always Butterfest. Here we go. Start a whole conversation. Leadership Development, Florida. Fabulous. All right, let's get going with this because also I'm aware of time. Good. Let's do this. So first thing I want to say is there's never been a more important time for us to use speaking to connect with communities, to serve globally. Now really is the time for us as leaders, as coaches, trainers, consultants, as mentors, as business owners, as people who are out there who are caring about other people, regardless of the industry. Now's a really great time to step into that space, to be that voice for good, and also to be more giraffe. And I'll talk about that as we go along as well, which is my kind of thing. Stand out, be more giraffe, right? We started way back in 2011, so we've been around for over a decade now. Woohoo! And we started in a very smelly pub in London with sticky floors and really bad furniture. That is the top part. They gave us the basement. Now, the basement, you went down the stairs, every step creaked, the walls were sticky, and they had 2 light bulbs hanging from the ceiling. That's where Speaker Express started. We learned not long after that the pub actually got shut down for hygiene reasons, and we know why. Has anyone ever been to one of those sticky, smelly pubs? Ever? Only Naomi. I can see 2 hands going up. All right, okay, it's only Naomi. There we go, and I can see another hand going up as well. Where have you gone? I can't see your name. It's weird. Wherever the arrow is covering your name. There you go. I can see you mouthing it, but I can't get over your name. It's one of those things, right? Let me see if I can do that, and then I might be able to see your name. But anyway, I think we all know about the sticky, smelly pubs. And that was the beginning of speaking. Is it Nikita? No, it's not Nikita. Yes. There we are. That's where we started, but I'm glad to say that pre-pandemic we had graduated to much bigger, much more respectful venues across the country. And obviously, during the pandemic, we were in lockdown like everyone else, so we went online and we adapted to be online. And we've been around, and in the last decade, we worked with a variety of businesses, industries. We've worked with accelerators across the globe. We've helped people pitch on Dragon's Den, get on TEDx's. We help people use speaking for authority positioning. We work with corporations. At the heart of everything we do are entrepreneurs. We love entrepreneurs. We love business owners. We love people that are out there to shake up industries, to use their voice for good, who want to really change the paradigm of things. And that's what we really love doing. That's the heart of everything we do. We love all the other big contracts we get, corporate work, trainings, things like that. But the essence of everything we do is the entrepreneur, because we know entrepreneurs really change the world. Because if we leave it to politicians, yeah, faces say it all, really. So we know all about that, right? We're actually, this team's bigger now. So there's me, my wife, she joins in every now and then. I've got Regina, who's my right hand person. Got the co-founder, Anik, who now lives in Australia. And we also have some trainers that I pull in. But equally, it's actually grown. There's 2 other more team members now who specialize in the gig getting side of things, which is the gig sourcing side of the business, which we've recently launched. I would love to know, before I get going, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to speaking or delivering a signature talk? What is it for you? That's what I'd really love to. The next thing, my business is $1 million look. Ooh, I like that. Here's my link. Ooh. Do I have $1 million look? What do you think? Definitely got $1 million look. Oh yeah, especially this side. Not sure about this side. That's only $500,000. So, grounding myself and saying exactly what I'm planned. Yes. What else have we got? if you're short and focus, okay. Deciding what to talk about. Yes, I've got so many topics. Hear that a lot. Speaking too fast. Good stuff. Couple more before we move forwards. What to include and what to leave out. Good. One more. Same as which one, Karen? There's like 4 before you. So which one is the same? Or is it just what to decide what to leave in and leave out? That's included what? Okay. Selling from the stage. Woohoo! We love selling from the stage. Right. Let me quickly address that one. Right. Very quickly. How to find places to speak. Okay. You are always selling. Please, let's understand that the moment you turn your camera on, the moment you go live, the moment you do a reel, the moment you step on stage, virtual or none, you are always selling. Can we understand that, please? That it's not a section of a talk. Even if you're doing a keynote speech, even if you're paid lots of money to speak, you're still selling, right? So what I would love you all to do is to shift away from this paradigm that sales is a section of your talk and understand that when you speak, you're selling. Fact. Because the reason you're on stage is because you have expertise, you have thought leadership, you have a product, you have a service, a vision, a mission to share. And so because of that, I want you to understand that you're always in some way selling. All right. Now, to sell in line with who you are, in line with your values, and without being a douchebag, that's another matter. Without using scarcity tactics or without being pushy, again, that's where the structure and the skill comes in. But please understand that you are always selling. So I just wanted to address that as well. Always. I know somebody like, no, I never sell. No, you are. You are. The moment you're introduced on stage, you're selling. Please understand that. Okay. So good. So what I'm going to teach today will really help that aspect, because structure breeds freedom. Structure keeps you on track. Structure gives you focus. And I want to be very clear, right? Really clear. Listen in. Structure is not scripting. Structure is not a script. Structure, it gives you the spine to lead the audience, the market, the people watching you speak to where you want them to end up, right? It gives you the freedom to move in and out, to be agile, to adapt, but always stay on track. When I work with creative people, where are my creative people? Put your hands up for me, please. Be honest. Right, here's what I get normally, and I love this about creative people. You know, I just like to go with the flow. I just like to see where I land. Won't structure restrict my ability to express myself? No, on the contrary, structure will magnify your expression because it keeps you going in the direction you want it to go. Even when you've got a creative process, there's still a process. It's exactly the same. I work with creative agencies. I work with people. I'm going to show you a testimonial from one shortly. I work with people that design packaging for shelves. And when we work with them, 360 design they're called, they were like, but Elliot, you know, we're creative. We have this process. And if you give a structure, won't you stifle our expression? I was like, no, guys, not at all. Just trust the process. And they were like, okay, we trust you. So we work together. And as a result of what I'm going to show you today and the work we did, they're able to actually completely shift their whole positioning, marketing, and actually they had to sit there and work out what their process was. Like, because when you're speaking on stage, and you're going to learn about it when we get to solution part, you're going to have to explain your process. It can't be, well, we just sit there and we come up with stuff. Who's going to pay you £500,000, £10,000, whatever? If you're like, no, I just think of things. Now, if you're an intuition coach, that's different. I get that. But even an intuition coach has a process, right? You have a call. You have an assessment, right? You go through a process to get to where you need to get to. So I just wanted to say that as well. Okay. Right. Good stuff. So very quick. How did I end up here? I joined Speaker Express way at the beginning. I'm a co-founder, but since then I've done many things. As you can see, we did raise investment originally to launch internationally, hence me being head giraffe UK. I came up with the concept of being more giraffe, which means standing out from the rest, sticking your neck out, being heard for the right reasons. Now I've got over 10,000 hours of delivering talks globally and virtually. I've written 5 books now, 2 of them bestsellers, and one of them is shortlisted for the Business Book Award this year. Woo-hoo. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That's right, inspired in Devon. Woohoo! I'm a mentor of the Princess Trust and also have a podcast. One's on pause right now, Voice for Good, but we also run the Public Speaking Expert podcast, and I'm an accredited virtual speaker, which means I paid $85 to be told I can speak online. It was well spent, what can I tell you? It's a really good certification to get, and I'm happy to say in the last month this has all happened. Obviously, last year I was voted Consultant of the Year, but I was actually voted one of the most inspiring coaches in public speaking of 2022. Yahoo recognized me, which is nice. It's kind of, they all follow on in each other as one of the coaches to follow. I was voted top 5% content creator for Riverside, for those of you who know the platform. And as I told you, we're shortlisted for the Business Book Awards as well. So exciting times there. I'll find out in May if I win it. But to be honest with you, if I win it or not, to be completely honest, just to be shortlisted is enough for me. Because last year, I didn't even get looking. And that little boy inside of me was like, oh my God, this is so fixed. They just do it for their friends. Watch me, I'm going to come back. And I did. I came back with a shorter book and it got shortlisted. So I was like, yes. So I've already won. I'm really happy with that in that respect. We work with a variety of people, industries, entrepreneurs. We've worked with people together on, you heard us about Dragon's Den, but also things like MasterChef, property investors, coaches, trainers, consultants, influencers. It's because it's about the methodology, not about the industry. That's why we can adapt who we work with. So there's 6 key ingredients that we work on: purpose, clear message, concise structure, relatable language, storytelling, and of course, having an impact. Now, we're going to focus on a concise structure today. So we're not going to go through all that. For those of you who want to do your how good am I as a speaker kind of scorecard like Naomi has, then feel free to scan that. Don't do it now. Don't do it now. Just scan it, save it. Mine's a bit longer. Mine takes 3 minutes because it's 30 questions. So just be honest. And then you get an individualized, personalized report and a personalized score on how influential you are as a speaker, and go from there. And you'll, if after that you never want to hear from me again, just unsubscribe, please, because you will hear from me if you're on my database. Just to let you know that up front. So if you've got it, I'll move on and let's get crack-lacking. Naomi, keep me in check for time, please, because as a speaker, as you know, I do things as quick as I can, no longer how long they take. So just keep me posted on the timeline for that. By the way, that's a joke I crack on LinkedIn and people really like it, but you guys clearly don't. So the key problems that I come across are, and these are who we work with. So what do you think are the problems they all have in common? They all stretch across them. Let's have some types or some shout outs. Oh, is it paused? Oh dear. I'll unpause that. It shouldn't be paused. Okay. I'll get you the link instead for those who wanted to do that. But what do you think they all have in common? Those people. Here you go. Scared to talk on stage, some of them. So apparently it's paused, which I don't know why. So what I'm going to do is I'll send you the link for it here in the chat for the scorecard. Scared to speak on stage. What else do you think they have in common? Challenge-wise, when it comes to speaking, positioning, authority positioning. There's no right or wrong answer. Everyone's like, I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get it wrong. It's okay, you can get it wrong. There's no wrong. Need to communicate and be credible to their market. Yep. What else? Establish themselves as an expert. Yes. Okay. I will give you the answers, knowing what to talk about. So when we work with business owners and entrepreneurs, here's are the main threads that they need to work on. Whoops, I always do that, don't I? So they need to adapt and be current. What a lot of people do is they have a talk and they've been doing it for 10 years, right? I was approached recently by this agency and they were like, our managing director, he's struggling to get gigs. I'm like, okay, well, how current is his talk? And like, well, he's been doing it for 10 years and it's been so successful. I'm like, in the last 2 years, we've had a decade's worth of shift in 2 years. So if you're doing the same talk you did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, you're not current. So some of the key challenges that business owners and entrepreneurs experience when they approach us is they need to adapt and be current. They struggle with the noise, the online noise. Who here can adapt, can relate to that? And there's a lot of it. It's got noisier, right? A low speaking impact. I speak and I don't get the results I want. I don't get the sales I want. I don't get the... Anyone relate to that one, right? Low or no conversions. Not enough time to practice. I'm running this, I'm doing this, I got no da-da-da. Unclear brand message is a massive one. If people don't get what you are, who you are, and your identity as a brand, it's very hard for people to relate to you and buy into you and therefore want to work with you. Fluffy pitch. How many of you have seen terrible, awful pitches or really confusing pitches? Anyone seen something like that and you're like, I don't get it. I don't understand what... Or they just do things because they were told to do things. This and this and this. And if you buy today and you can see it's incongruent. My package is normally £10,000, but you can have it for £5 if you sign up today. And you're like, what? Why? Why would you drop your price like that? That is just awful sales, right? Forgetting to pitch. Who's guilty of that? I just want to add value. I just want to share my knowledge, right? Yes, I'm seeing loads of smiles going on there. And of course, not enough quality leads. So that's what the common threads are when we work with business owners. So what I want to do now is I want to show you the structure. Now, the structure I'm going to show you works depending on what industry you're on. But this is example. Some of you might know Shamini. When I showed her this structure, she was able to deliver it in a masterclass format. And therefore, she was able to enroll people into her course. She was updating me live as it was going on. Equally, there's this guy called Ed that I worked with, and he already ran 4 businesses. They're all $1 million+ turnover businesses. And he came to me, he's like, Elliot, I'm not getting any sales. I'm like, what? Why are you not getting any sales? He's like, I don't know. So I asked him to do his thing to me, and I just went to him, okay, let me tell you why you're not getting any sales. And he's quite an intimidating guy. You know those people who seem to be much more cleverer than you? Does anyone know that kind of... They just seem to be so much more intelligent than you, and you're like, I was slightly intimidating when I started to work with him. And then I was like, aha, I've got you. So he delivered it to me, and I went, Ed, with all the love in the world, you're really boring, and you're so data driven that no one can connect with you. Do you know the people that are just talking stats and facts? I was like, of course you're not getting any sales. But he's like, but I built 4 companies besides this. I was like, maybe, but for what you want to pitch, this is terrible. I said that in a loving way, of course. And so what we did is we worked through the structure I'm going to show you, and that completely changed for him. But what I asked him to do is to share his vision of what he wants to do and not just how it's going to work. And that shifted everything for him. So let's get down to business, shall we? Here's the structure. I'm going to talk you through it. Then what I want you to do today when we're going to breakout room, I just want you to think about your opening, just your opening at this point. But there's 7 key steps to a signature talk, right? 7 key steps, and I'm going to break them down. So the first step, again, I'm going to go in much depth, is opening. The mistake most people do is they come and go, hi, I'm Naomi Johnson, I'm a LinkedIn expert, and what I do is I'm not saying Naomi does this, I'm just using this as an example. And they talk about themselves from the word go. By doing that, you are giving me 0 insight into what's in it for me. We see speakers because really we're quite selfish. We want to gain. Let's be honest. You're here because you want to gain something that I am going to teach you. So if you walk on, if that's the first thing I said is, hi, I'm Elliot Kay. I've been voted the best consultant. I've written 5 books. Like, oh my God, this guy's already speaking about himself. And you'll switch off. It's an unconscious thing. What you want the opening to do is you want to get them to lean in, to jolt their thoughts, to think. So for example, I'm working with this incredible guy and he's a tree consultant, right? And he walked on stage, we did an event 2 weeks ago with a chainsaw. And he stood there. He goes, this is bad. We want to keep trees alive, not cut them down. And then he turns it off. He goes, don't worry, there's no chain on it. But can you imagine the impact that has? The first thing you see is this guy standing with a chainsaw. So the whole thing with... Now, I'm not saying you have to go to that extreme, by the way, people. But it all depends what your message is and where you want to lead it. But what I'm saying is the opening needs to be thought-provoking. So statement, a fact, something like that that gets your audience thinking. Even if they haven't warmed to you yet, it just gets them thinking. Then there's the problem. Again, I'll recap this as well. Then there's the problem aspect. What you need to very quickly do, now again, this is a signature talk, right? And a signature talk is designed to magnify the what people need to know, not the how, because the how they will pay you for. So very different from a keynote, and I can address the differences a bit later, okay? So what you need to do, if you've got my attention, very quickly demonstrate to me that you get my problems. If you get my problems, then I'm going to start to build rapport with you. I'm going to start to trust you. You need to communicate that in a way that I can relate, not how Nikki would say it or Tessa would say it or Karen, but how your market receives it. And again, what a lot of speakers do, or people that use speaking to market themselves, is they talk about it from their model of the world. But you need to communicate it in the way that my model of the world would understand it. Is everyone with me? Yeah. Then there's earn the right. Now you can go, hi, I'm Louise and I do this, 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 and this. Again, I'll recap all this, so don't worry too much if you haven't quite got it. Now you say your name. Now you give me your kudos. Now you give me your credibility. Then it's the solution. What is your unique solution? What is the unique solution you're bringing to the table? I'm just going to use Louise as an example, only because we're in a room together. You know, if Louise just tells me she's a nutritionist, that means nothing to me. But if Louise has a unique solution about nutrition, about dealing with fatigue, then now I'm interested. And again, I'll show you examples of this, right? Now, again, when you go into the solution, a lot of speakers make the mistake, excuse me, of giving the whole solution away or going so deep. All you want to do is whet the appetite of the person watching you so they understand, oh, okay, I get it. So I get how you're going to get me there. I get what I need to know, but you haven't given me the how yet. Now we're into story time. You choose the relevant story that's going to magnify the problem and the solution and why you're the person to deliver that. So it doesn't have to be a personal story here, depending on the industry you're in. It can be, but a lot of people misuse their personal story and they talk about, I broke my back, I did this, and it doesn't relate to where or what they're selling. If it relates, yes. So you can use, of course, you can use your personal story, but you can use your credibility story. So Robert might use more of his credibility story to magnify the points he's going to make. You can use your business story. Why did your business get started? How did it get started? You can use case studies and success stories, and you can use your vision and mission. Now, can you use all of them? You can. But the idea is to have a bank of stories that help magnify the points you're going to make, because, of course, we buy through stories, because stories are designed to emotionally engage us, right? Then you've got your content. So your content, 3, 5, 7 bits of information that will help educate me to buy from you, or will help drill down the pain of not working with you. But again, done in a non-douchey way, done in a respectful, adding value way. And then there's a call to action. And that's when you invite people to take action with you. That's when you invite people to a consultation or to buy from you or buy a product. Now, here's what I'll say. If you do the other 6 steps really, really well, then you don't actually have to worry about the call to action because they've already bought into you. So then the call to action is a natural extension versus a clunky, oh my God, I'm selling now. You've been selling the whole time, but you've got to do it right. Yeah. By the way, you might hear my daughter's got some kids, some friends over. So you might hear some screaming, and they're all girls and they're all very excited and they've just had chocolate. Right. So, you might hear them in the background. So your call to action would be either, look, this is my product and I'm selling it. Right. Or it might be, let's have a conversation. And then this is where you kind of do the last layering of that. Does that make sense? And that's really it. Any questions so far about the whole structure? Tessa, did you want to ask a question? No? Okay. Did you get each section? How am I doing for time now before they need to go into breakout rooms? Doing good? Yeah? Or do they need to go in breakout rooms? I'm confused. Which one are you answering? Give me the time, roughly. I'll tell you what.
I would say in the next 5 minutes.
In the next 5 minutes. Okay, cool. I'll tell you what. What I'll do very quickly, because this is what I want you to work on, is I want you to... Let's just dive into the opening, and then I'm going to send you away, and then we'll recap the other sections so you can understand where it goes. Right? So if we look at the opening, we want it to be thought-provoking. Equally, we want to reassure the person that they're in the right place. Right? If you can be captivating, now again, that doesn't mean scream your head off or anything, but if you can be captivating in a way that grabs attention and keeps attention, then again, you're in the right spot. And then what we want to do also with the opening is set the scene, right? And the energy for what kind of talk this is going to be. Now, doesn't mean you do throughout the talk, you don't change your energy, you don't shift things. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that at that moment, people are kind of go, oh my God, is this person going to be really boring? Or is this going to be interesting? Am I in the right place? I could be tweeting right now. I could be doing an Instagram live. There's so many things I could be doing right now. That's why we want to capture the attention. We want to be captivating. We want to be enrolling. So questions are good. Stats are good. Statements are good. Stories are good. Chainsaws are good, right? I've got a friend that uses, he comes on and he plays a didgeridoo. He doesn't say anything. He walks on and goes, does all that. And then he starts beatboxing. And then he'll start to explain about the breathing and how the rhythmical breathing for didgeridoo is about like building a business. It's circular. And then he starts to relate it to what he's going to talk about, right? So with that in mind, what I'd love you to do is have a real think. And there's no right or wrong. This isn't about you nailing it here and now. So please don't put that pressure on you. But what I'd love you to do is just have a think. How would you open your signature talk now you've heard all this? Also knowing where it will go, I want you to have a think about it. And then what you'll do is you'll go into the breakout rooms and then your brains just have a little conversation about it, get some feedback on it. I just really want to get you into this place where you're starting to think of the impact as a speaker just versus just speaking. Right? Because that's what some people do. Not you, of course not, because you're working with Naomi. She's going to make sure you don't do that. But equally, I want you to elevate your speaking after today. So this, for some of you, I know you're uncomfortable. Like, oh, this is so different. Right? If you've got this thing going on your head going, that's not me. Right? If that's popped up for you, find what is you to open. I'm not saying you have to do chainsaws. That's not my point. I want you to find a way that you can open in a way that's thought-provoking, it's reassuring to the audience, and is going to capture attention, right? You don't have to walk on like Tony Robbins and jump up and down for 4 hours and start swearing at people if that's not your style. Do you see what I'm saying? What I want you today is start that journey of thinking about how you would open from now on in a way that gets you to stand out and be more giraffe. Cool? Yeah? Awesome. Naomi, do you want to take control?
Oh, I do. I always like to take control. People who know me will know. Okay.
Good stuff. So did we think some good openings? Yeah, who would like to share theirs quickly? Let's go with Mary, because you're smiling away there. So go on, Mary.
I was laughing because I'm sure Nikki was about to volunteer on my behalf. Well, I was giving a 10-minute talk next week to an FSB group, and I just chose a topic which I thought would be interesting for people that I know are likely to be there, and it's about my experience of writing and publishing over a number of years. And I'm not a publishing coach or an expert in any way, but I was going to share my experience. And I went back very quickly and looked at my first slide, and I'm very reassured that I wasn't actually talking about myself. And I was giving some warnings about, you really probably a good idea that you might love writing before you decide to write a book, because actually it's not necessarily a good thing. And then the final point on my slide is that you need to be prepared to murder your darlings, which you may or may not be aware of that phrase. You're obviously not. Publishers often use it. People have a character or a piece of writing or an idea that they really, really love. They're really attached to it, even though they might not say it to anybody else, because I think that might seem big-headed, but they're really attached to it. They don't want to let it go, but actually for the flow of a particular piece of writing or book, it may need to be cut out. So it sounds horrible. It's a horrible expression. I think I changed it in my thing and put eliminate your darlings or something like that, but I probably will go back and use murder, actually, because it makes people pull a face like you did, Elliot. You go, oh my goodness, that sounds scary.
Yeah, so you could open with that. You've got to be prepared to murder your darlings. Like, what are they saying? Oh my God, what are you advocating here? And then we can go from there. Good. Okay. Who else like to share their ideas for an opening? No, there's no right or wrong here, people. Yes. Let's have. Is it Izzy?
It's Izzy. Yes. Hello.
And then Tessa. Hello. Go for it.
Yes. So my topic is around personal productivity. So I was thinking around many people are still worried that they're not able to multitask, that they wish they were better at multitasking. But did you know that when you multitask, you lose up to 70% of your productivity? Do you still want to multitask?
Good. I like that. I would flip it, you know. So start with, did you know by multitasking, you lose 70% of your productivity? Yet everybody wants to multitask. Are you sure? Flip it. Hit us first. That's be my suggestion. Anyway.
Okay, cool.
Good stuff. And Tessa, before we kind of wrap this session up, over to you. Need to unmute yourself, but only if you want us to hear you. That's.
Sorry, my things are working, so I've got a thing. Okay, so I believe in a world where sustainable style supersedes fast fashion, and where looking good doesn't cost you or the planet the earth. Did you know that 60% of landfill is waste clothes, many hardly worn?
Whoa.
I love that. And most of them is in Tahiti, right? Most of them end up in Tahiti.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, they get dumped in the UK.
Oh, there you go.
60% of UK's landfill is clothes.
Wow,
Africa
scary.
too. And a lot in
What's
Africa.
that, Karen?
And
say again, Karen?
A lot in Africa too.
And in Africa. There you go.
China dumped £1 million of fabric 3 years ago because it was the wrong color.
My gosh. There we go. These are, do you see, if you just open with those statements, everyone's like, you've got our attention. And then you get someone go, those damn Chinese, which we know is not the response you want at all. But if you just open with that response, that's already going to jolt us and get us to pay attention. Fabulous. All right, good. So what I'd just like to quickly whip round, one big learning you're taking from today, then I'll quickly tell you, I'm running a training, I'll quickly tell you about that. But first things first, I'd just love to hear what your big learning was. So we go, Karen, I'm just going as I'm seeing, right? So Karen, what's your one big learning from today? You all need to unmute yourselves, by the way. Including you, Karen.
I'm trying. I'm looking. Well, to find the relevant story that magnifies the problem and the solution. I think that's an important one.
Good learning. Nikita.
Probably I never heard of anything about the signature talk or anything. We all had like a pitch training, high pitch, 2 seconds talking. And also I need to do a bit more statistics, read more research about it, autism, and speak something connecting to the autism to grab people's attention. Yeah.
Fabulous. Mary.
And it's mostly statistics and the real facts and figures,
An important topic as well. I work with an autistic lady who now speaks. Fabulous stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So because I always used to start my conversation saying I'm a chartered accountant, I do this. So now I'm going to talk about autism first. Then I'm going to talk about creating employability for the autism fields. So it's good.
Love it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this is massively helpful. You got no idea how helpful this is.
Okay, Mary, let's keep it to one sentence.
Okay, I think I can include in my talk I'm going to do now anyway, I can include I have a unique solution to help people because I have, even though I'm not a specialist in publishing.
Love it. Jenny.
So mine's very much about really tying up that hook and getting that first opening in order to capture the audience. Yeah.
Love it. Good. Louise.
Well, what I learned was I was trying to do something that was too soft and fluffy, probably. I was working on something which was asking people how they're feeling. And what came out of the conversation was that people dropping down dead is a lot more attention grabbing.
Yes, absolutely. Good. Who's next? We have Tessa, top learning, and then we'll go Izzy and then Nikki.
Actually, I think what you just said to me was amazing. And to be fair, I did a talk yesterday, which I had a week to prepare, which is along these lines. But today was much better than it was yesterday. So thank you for that.
Yay. Great. Izzy and then Nikki.
For me, I would say it's the overall structure. I've never had that before because I always just sort of gone with the flow and made it up for myself. But I like a structure. Like you said at the beginning, it gives you then the freedom to play with it.
Great. Nikki, in Florida.
Yeah, you're always presenting.
Yes, you're always selling.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, amazing stuff. So before I hand it over to Naomi, I love doing these sessions, as you can tell. So if you do want to dive in further, I am doing a training on the 5th of May online. So wherever you are in the world, you can join us. This shouldn't be paused. I'll be surprised if it is. And it's basically signature talk training, going through all the layers, going in depth in each section. You'll leave with a talk ready to go, up to 30 to 45 minutes, right? And that's what I'll be doing. And then after that, if you want to join us, being part of Naomi's group, it's £97 if you do book it before Monday. And that's only because I want you to make a decision, not sit on it for too long, right? It will go to £197, but the value you'll get with a talk that's ready to go, that sells you. So that's what I'd love to invite you to do. I'll also put the links in the chat for those of you who are on QR. And if you just want to book in a chat with me, you're not sure, is it right for you, is it not? Just click on the link. We can have a 20-minute conversation about that and we can go from there. So thank you very much. I'll leave this up for the time being. And we'll go. I hope you've learned how to go out there, be seen, be heard, and always be more giraffe. Thank you very much. Naomi, back to you.